getting absolutely muscled there. At turn 1, that was an absolute disaster.
Oh, he's spun!
Oh no! That's massive for Adam!
All over the rear bumper of spin, mate. These guys are hitting each other like nothing we've ever seen before.
Jeez pulls out to the outside. Here we go again.
86 there. He's going to go for a move here. The two Ferraris in front of him.
Jeez went wide. Jeez is
Oh!
in trouble with Schumacher. Oh, good contact. He pushes.
Oh, massive contact there.
This is going to be an incredible finish for these two.
The speed, the overspeed happening. They're going to go 3 wide into
Oh.
turn 1.
There's contact there from Tracy that comes through on the way in. He tries to redress and gets his way.
Shoved out wide. Oh, huge contact.
This is fantastic. On the outside though in turn 1.
As he shoves it down the inside anyway. What is this? Oh my gosh! What a move from GTR!
Hello everybody, welcome back to Sector 1. We are here tonight for the Sector 1 Community Series. It is of course round 11 here at Suzuka Circuit, the second final round of the season. And wow, it's shaping up to be a magnificent night of racing. 10-minute qualifying into 2 20-minute sprint race format for us tonight. The second, of course, being reverse grid. My name is Lenosis, and joining me in the commentary box here tonight is your race director and co-commentator and driver tonight as well, Carbon Boy. How are we doing tonight, Carbon Boy?
Good evening, Lenosis. I'm doing very well, if not slightly damp, due to the current weather conditions I have been experiencing here in my hometown. But looking forward to some red-hot action tonight.
Yeah, it should be a very feisty one. We have some new names in the pack today, which is always nice to see with these Community Series races, but we also see a couple of returning names as well, and some of our main game drivers here tonight to show everybody how it's done. Of course, our recently crowned Division 1 champion, Jeesh, is here tonight as well for the Community Series night, just here testing out the waters. I mean, of course, he's already raced here in his own race, but just here again to test things out and take the Respawn Esports Genesis out for a spin once again.
And I have it on good authority, at least I hope he's a man of his word. Chatting to him earlier, I have it on good authority that there will be a last to first challenge from Mr. Jeesh tonight.
Does that imply he is not qualifying?
I believe that he will set a relatively slow lap. Now, we all know how the drivers like to prove me, the commentator, wrong, so don't hold it against me if he goes out and sets somewhere in the region of a 157.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised about that either, to be honest. It is Jeesh we're talking about.
Yes, the man is stupidly quick, as are a lot of the drivers on the grid tonight. Just quietly, I'm probably going to struggle.
Yeah. So I reckon we don't keep these guys waiting any longer, and you click that big orange button. It is still painted orange from last time you were in the box.
You just need to give me a couple of minutes, or maybe a minute, just to get everybody ticked in.
Yes.
If it will let me do the thing that I need to do.
So let's just have hello to hello. Let's just say hello to everybody in the chat at the moment. Hello, Robert Rice, Debrev, Greeny. Thanks for joining us tonight here on the Sector 1 channel. And make sure that if you guys aren't already, just tuning in to get our numbers up It's always nice to see everybody rocking up for the Community Series. It's always a good spectacle here on the Sector 1 channel to see drivers that, well, past drivers, current drivers, and of course newcomers out on track all together. It's a nice mix of talent, skill, and competition that the main game can't really give us. And we've got a nice platform here, the Genesis, being a spec series, one make. Everyone's able to use that car, the same machinery, same tools to sort of at the same time prove themselves, but just have a bit of fun as well. That's first and foremost what the Sector 1 Community Series is about. So how are we coming along,
Now
Carbon Boy?
If you take a look down on track, you'll see the drivers in the pit lane getting ready to head out onto track.
Yes. Here we go. Qualifying about to kick off here at Suzuka in the qualifying, in the Community Series, I should say, in the qualifying. As here we are, the first car out on track is Carbon Boy himself, just ahead of Killer on the Loose in, oh, I should say, Carbon Boy in the newly made Doghouse livery, which, by design, has orange wheels. How excited are you about that, Carbon Boy?
I am extremely excited about that, and my thanks go out to the stranger for knocking this together for me.
And just behind Carbon Boy on track is Killer on the Loose, running the Blacklight car tonight, the Blacklight ammo car, Genesis, hitting the track once again. Third man out on track is John 27TCT running, oops, I have forgot about engine audio once again, I apologise to the viewers. John 27TCT is the third man out on track. He is running the Brocchio 5 Sim Racing Boxer Beauty Genesis here tonight, looking brilliant as always. We see Speedy Snoopy AU. I believe he has joined us for a couple of the Community Series races, and he's here once again. I believe the races he has participated in, he has been in the Doghouse car, but as Carbon Boy has snatched up those orange wheels, Speedy Snoopy is now in the Hoon Corp car with the big paws on the side to match his doggy theme. We see Bumcrack, the fifth man out on track, driving his own car. Doesn't want it to get damaged in the hands of any of these rookie drivers that we see around, so taking matters into his own hands. We'd like to see him here. He's here often, Bumcrack is. And nice livery on that car, which I believe he designed himself. So a man of many tricks, I should say. One-man band Bumcrack is here tonight. Just behind those two on the main straight now is Slapper's mate as he starts his qualifying lap. He is running the Black Rose Pentrite car. And there's not much to say about this car apart from that it looks spectacular as always. And Slapper's mate here, he's a fast operator, so we'll see what he has to say and what times he can set in this 10-minute qualifying session. Just behind him on track, coming through the S's now in the CP colours, is HRA Vance. And that's a new name. I haven't really heard that one before. So looking to make an impact here in the S1 Community Series is HRA Vance. Of course, sporting one of Sector 1's most historic teams, CP Motorsports. Well, they're not even really that historic, to be honest. They're just a continuation team. They've been here since season 5.
They've been here since the get-go, from memory.
Well, yeah, but they weren't known as CP Motorsports.
Oh, it was a rebrand.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the team has been here for a while, but under the blue CP colours, been around for 4 seasons now, I believe. If Chase is in chat, he might be able to fill me in on that. 8th car on track, running the Red Mist Green Beacon entry tonight is JLAT 15. That Green Beacon entry, always looking great on track. The second of the green cars out on track here tonight. 9th position, coming off a decent performance here in the main game. We have Woody, P9, running the Deeds entry here with a some nice lime green wheels on that car as well. And of course, Geesh sitting in the pit lane. So Killer and Loose, first set of time. Carbon Boy goes 4/10 slower. John 27 TCT to the top of the times, the 1:59.5. Speedy Snoopy immediately improves, goes 3/10 quicker. And Bumcrack slots himself into P5 as Slapper's mate goes P2. Vance overtakes, slots himself between those cars. And J-Lat straight to the top of the times as well with a 59.2 for the Red Mist outfit. Very interesting first flyer for these guys.
Killer's had a minor off in the Dunlop S's.
Oh dear.
Just a minor one. He's back on track.
That's probably going to be that lap done for Killer on the Loose as he approaches the Degners now. Looking just back to Woody, who is coming up to Spoon Curve now. Yet to set a lap time. Came out of the pit lane rather late in the 37 Deeds entry. It looks... I can't quite tell whether he... It sounds like he's not going very fast. And by the looks of that lap time, doesn't look like it either, as he's ticking over. Yeah, now that is the lap time he needs to set, and he's only coming up to 1:30R as we speak. So, not a representative time from what is he doing? He's going very, very slowly. I would imagine he's doing what Geesh is doing, and just setting a slow lap so they can start towards the back together and have a nice fight through the pack in our race number 1 here. But we're riding on board with the provisional pole position driver, J-Lat, 15, as he goes on the run down towards a 1:30R. Woody sets a lap time of 2:33. That is absolutely blinding. And J-Lat is purple as well. Through 1:30R, running not a little bit wide, perfectly through there. Speedy to the top of the times, as Bumcrack sets a 2-minute lap time on the run down to the finish line. J-Lat, what lap time is it going to be? 1:58. Oh, just goes slower than his own time by 0.03 of a second. But the big news, Speedy Snoopy up into P1 with that lap time. A 1 minute 58.904. Rapid lap for the Hooncorp driver here. As we see a couple of other people in the chat as well. Hello to Levenspiel and Snake Eyes. Thank you for joining us here tonight on the Sector 1 channel. Hope you enjoy the racing as Speedy Snoopy approaches the second Degner now on the run towards the hairpin under the Bridgestone Bridge. So that's kind of funny, actually. They've got the Bridgestone advertisement on a bridge. I just think that's a little bit
Is it made of stone?
I don't know. That's a great question. It might be. It might be made of concrete.
Close enough. Close enough.
Yeah. Concrete is essentially stone. Bridgestone. Yes, it is. In the literal sense.
I reckon there's someone in Bridgestone's marketing who's rubbing his hands right now going, yeah, they finally got it.
I wouldn't be surprised if anybody from Bridgestone Marketing is tuning into the Sector 1 channel. Thank you for doing so. As we see Carbon Boy on the run down towards the Casio Triangle. Is this a representative lap time, Carbon Boy?
Yeah. Nah.
As he approaches the line, is it going to be go quicker? Barely. I think you would have been hoping to go a little bit quicker than that.
I'm actually got one eye on the weather radar at the moment, and it's not looking real good, to be honest.
Rain? Oh dear.
There's what appears to be some blue.
Oh dear. I mean, that's interesting. I mean, I hope you told me that there might not be rain, but there's like, you set it to random, didn't you? Which is like a 1 in 48 chance or something of rain. So the rain gods looking down on us today, and they've said, you're getting rain. What color blue, I may ask?
It is a light blue.
Oh, way to ruin our hopes and dreams, Carbon Boy.
but it is a fairly solid amount of light blue,
Maybe
with a
some
few
damage
spots
on
of
the
dark
track.
blue in
Few
amongst it
spots
all.
of dark blue. As we're having a look on board with Speedy Snoopy at the moment, 1 minute left in this session. That might be enough for some of these guys to get one more lap in before the end of the session. However, as it stands, it's Speedy Snoopy, J-Lat, front row of the grid, provisional of course, 3/10 separating the two. This qualifying is far from over as we're coming into the later stages of this session. Most of these guys should get one more lap as somebody's parked off at the final turn. I'm trying to find who that is. It is, of course, H-Ray Vance, who's found his way into the gravel trap at Spoon Curve. Potentially with a helping hand. That seemed... yeah, I'm not too sure. That seemed a little bit... Yeah, I'm not too sure about that one. But let's see who's crossed the line. No, I think everyone's finished, unfortunately.
There's still J-Lat, Vance, Slappers, and John who are running around at the moment.
Okay. As John sets a lap. Good enough for 4th position there. And I think that's pretty much every... Oh, no, we got Vance, who's not on a lap. And then Woody... As he approaches the start-finish line, he's essentially made this a one-shot qual... Oh, no, never mind. He wants to start at the back. What a lap from Woody as he crosses the line.
I'm not sure how I feel about Geesh and Woody starting from the back of the grid, because in P8 myself, I'm first in the firing line.
As now we have to wait out the timer because Geesh decided not to go out on track.
Fair enough. Just another 50 seconds to go. That's fine. That'll let me calm my nerves a little bit. Tell you what, the gap between J-Lat and Vance is 27 thousandths of a second for P2 and P3. That is very tight up the front there.
I mean, these guys aren't going as quick as I have seen them go, so I think there's a little bit of pace left on the table for the two races. I think the big question mark over that session is rain is apparently coming, according to Carbon Boy. So, how many of these guys have wet tyres? Or will it even get wet enough to use said wet tyres?
I did put up a post in the community channel telling everybody to buy the intermediates and the wet tyres just in case, because as the weather is set to random, I have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah. As we have a look at our official results for the qualifying session, Speedy Snoopy AU takes the Gokanga fastest lap in that session and pole position along with it, a 1:58.904. I believe it was his 3rd flying lap there. J-Lat 15 joins him alongside on the front row. It's a green car front row lockout. Vance in P3 in the CP colours with a 1:59.237. John 27 TCT, the first of our main game runners, starting from the 2nd row on the grid. Slappers, mate, will join Bumcrack on the 3rd row of the grid. Kira on the loose, Carbon Boy fill the 4th, and the 5th and final row is being filled out with 2 of the fastest operators in Sector 1 in Woody and Geesh. So, definitely an interesting qualifying session. I mean, I reckon Geesh and Woody, they have a little bit left on the table, I think it can be said. So
there's a lot left on the table. There is a lot there.
Absolutely.
Like, the whole lot.
I mean, Geesh, who it appears had a technical issue in the pit lane that the Respawn crew had to fix up. He won't be happy about that qualifying session, but now it's time for Geesh to do what Geesh does best and carve through the whole field. I'm going to give it till lap 5.
Lap 5, you reckon? I'm going to go lap 7. He's going to
Lap
run into a bit of
7.
traffic, I think.
Are
Lap
you
7.
the traffic?
Well, no, let's be honest. Both he and Woody will be past me probably before the Dunlop chicanes.
Probably before turn 1.
Hey. I'm just going to push that button and let's get going.
I think that's a great idea, Carbon Boy. Here we go.
Oh,
20 minutes
all
of
right.
Suzuka Circuit in the Sector 1 Community Series about to get underway. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
The nerves are kicking in a little bit, I'm not going to lie.
As the revs are rising, these guys sitting pretty, sitting ready. As the light sequence begins, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. They are out, and away we go here at Suzuka Circuit. It looks like everybody gets off to a decent start, and pack sort of squishing up towards that second row on the grid. A couple of moves being made in the background, potentially to... Oh! As Woody, straight off the track, joins at the back of the field once again, as these guys make it through the first turn cleanly, as they continue on towards the S's now. Seems like it's pretty much single file. That's the nature of this track, at least this part of the circuit. Not much room for overtaking. As I say that, we see a move from Bumcrack on Killer on the loose, but he has to slot in behind the black light car and settle for 6th position at this stage of the race. Coming through the deck, there's now under the Bridgestone Bridge down towards the hairpin. And we see a couple of noses showing, but no moves being made. As Carbon Boy blocks off the apex on Geesh, but will ultimately lose that position, unfortunately. As they are side by side.
I made the same mistake I made in the race on Sunday. I unfortunately gave the back end of Mr. Bumcrack a bit of a tap, so just lifted off to allow him to recover that.
As Geesh is having a real tough time trying to get past Carbon Boy. As I say that,
I left the door wide open there. I don't know why he didn't just walk on through.
I think Geesh is just having a bit of fun toying with his prey, if you will.
I'm not liking this.
Into 130R now.
Just send it down the inside, mate.
And he does just that. Gets it pulled up under brakes and slots on by. Looking back up the front, we see J-Lat ahead of Speedy Snoopy at the moment. The 2 green cars on the grid. Barreling down towards the first turn for the second time this race. Seems like they all get through just fine. Into the S's now, as we see John moving up to 3rd position, potentially looking for a move on Speedy sometime over the next lap or so. As they come through Dunlop down towards the Degners now. Pretty much single file racing for the most part for these guys. We're not seeing too much happening. Oh! Carbon Boy!
Yeah, that was a moment. That was a fairly big moment.
Not seeing too much happening. Carbon Boy takes to the escape grass, I guess you could say. So you see a move happening between Geesh, Geesh on Bumcrack, as he sets his sights on Killer on the loose now. 4 minutes gone in this race. We're already 20 minutes through. 20% through. That sentence did not make any sense. We're 4 minutes into the race, already 20 minutes through. Oh dear. It's been a long day, guys.
Can confirm that Genesis Group X is a terrible rally car.
As he sets up the move, Geesh down the inside of Killer on the loose, gets it pulled up in front of the black light car and up into P6. as he's only four seconds off the lead at the moment. So that lap 5 prediction is still looking pretty, I reckon. As we see John battling Speedy Snoopy around the outside of the first turn. Never going to work there, but John looking for the switchback. Doesn't quite open up for him nicely. Still trying to find a way past Speedy at the moment. They approach the next part of the circuit, the second sector here at Suzuka Circuit. Into the Degdas now. As we hear a lot of tyres squealing from Killer on the loose, who manages... Nope, he does not manage to hold on to it. He runs wide onto the AstroTurf at the exit of the second Degna. That leaves him under pressure from Carbon Boy, despite already losing 2 positions to Woody and Bumcrack in front. As you see Jeesh now, right up underneath that rear wing of Slapper's mate, looking for another move, potentially. Dropping back a 10th or so to the leaders at the moment, so this traffic sort of tripping Jeesh up just a tiny little bit. That dirty air sort of affecting his run, but now right up under that rear wing, looking for a move. Could they go too wide through 130R? We'll have to wait and see as they barrel down. A bit of a mistake from or Speedy's taking the lead actually on J-Lock. And into the braking zone at the Casio Triangle. So these this front 3, they're still battling it out quite hard. J-Lat able to hold out over John at the moment, but unfortunately losing that position to Speedy Snoopy up top. As we have a look back down to Jeesh, who has managed to find his way past the Penrite car of a Slapper's mate. As Jeesh up into 5th position, staring at the podium places already, and we're only 3 and a bit laps in through the S's for the 4th time now. As Kirill on the loose and Carbon Boy, what's happened here, Carbon Boy?
Just on the previous lap there, Killer got a little bit loose coming out of Spoon, and well, we had a little bit of a coming together, but that's okay. We wound down the windows, we talked it out like men, and we're just having our own little private battle here at the back. And both of us know that the grid for the race 2 is reverse grid, so I don't think either of us are against starting on the front row for that.
Yeah, absolutely. As we have a look back up front to see what the situation is like. Speedy Snoopy, he's edged out his lead to over 1 second. Oh, as we run wide. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Huge drama. J-Lat runs wide. Oh, no. Huge drama. But Jeesh up in a 4th position. Oh, my. As John's all the way down 5th position. It looked like he attempted a move on J-Lat and then ran wide. But J-Lat up into, holds on to 2nd place, I should say. Jeesh up into 4th place, and John down to 5th place. But that gap for Speedy Snoopy out to almost 3 seconds. So, oh my goodness. Really stretching his legs at the moment after that mistake from the cars behind. But Jeesh goes for a move for the podium position. 3rd place, making the move on Vance. Can't quite get it done, as Vance does have a slipstream courtesy of J-Lat in front. So Jeesh will have to settle for 4th position for the 2nd. As Jeesh has also set the fastest lap of the race as well, a 1 minute 59.019. So if we were handing out points for this, you would get the extra points, but this is community series, no points involved here, so yeah, he's not going to get that extra point, unfortunately. As they come through Dunlop into the Degdas. As Jeesh right up under that rear wing of Vance. He wants to try and clear these 2 as soon as possible. He's got the nose in. but he's going to be on the outside for the hairpin, looking for a switchback potentially. Doesn't quite open up. He's going to hold it around the outside. He does get it done, as Vance can't quite get the traction down the way he wanted. So Jeesh up into the podium places. He's going to have that slipstream all the way down that back curve, 200R, as he's going to be right up under the rear wing of J-Lat in no time, using that slipstream from the Red Mist car. Through Spoon Curve now. Running a little bit wide is J-Lat there. And now down the back straight. That gap already down to 2 tenths, 3 tenths. As Jeesh looking for a way past J-Lat up into second position potentially as we approach the halfway mark. A lot of tyre squeals from those two cars as they come through 130R into the Casio Triangle now. We have a nice battle pack of cars forming right here. 5 or 6 cars as Jeesh gets the run out of the final turn. And he pulls side by side on J-Lat. Looks like he's not going to quite have the straight line speed to get the move done. Tucks back into the slipstream. Going to try for it again. Getting that little bit of a slipstream toe. Tiny bit of contact, and that sends J-Lat wide. Jeesh up into second position. And J-Lat all the way down into 5th position now. Tried to turn into the apex, but Jeesh was there. So Jeesh up into second place. That leaves Vance hunting down the Division 1 Championship leader. But Jeesh, with Hunter instincts, he's got 5 and a bit seconds to chase down on Snoopy. As Snoopy has also set the fastest lap of the race on that last lap with a 58.8. So he's really flying at the moment. Not wanting to give up too much to Jeesh behind, but has Jeesh used too much of his car? That's the big question. 9 minutes remaining in this race. That should be enough time for another 5 laps. Looks like your guess of lap 7 might be coming into fruition there, Carbon Boy.
Maybe. We'll see what happens.
As we have a look at these guys up the back, Killer on the Loose and Carbon Boy. Carbon Boy's made his way past Killer on the Loose at the moment as they approach the hairpin. These guys currently sitting 13 seconds off the back of Bumcrack. As we have a look back up front, let's monitor that gap. It is coming down, 4.6 seconds between the front two. And Jeesh starting to stretch his legs on the final podium place here. 2 seconds, over 2 seconds already over Vance, who's under a lot of pressure from John 27 TCT, who is also in turn under a lot of pressure from J-Lat as well. So this is a nice little spicy hot pocket battle here, heating up as Speedy's into the pits. Oh dear! As Jeesh is in as well.
Because I'm having a look at the weather radar and it's not looking pleasant.
As they're all in for tyres, John goes around again. This is where the spicy part of the race takes effect. As Slappers goes around again, Bumcrack's round again, but everybody else is into the pits to chuck on the inter tyres. As they come out of the pits, and the raindrops are falling. You can see it on their windshields and falling onto the track. But have they jumped too early? Vance onto the wet tyres. As everybody else jumps onto the mediums. As that rate is really starting to bucket down here. John and Slappers, they may have made a mistake here. He is going around again.
Call.
Oh, you can already see they're starting to slide around, their pace dropping quick. Will they make it around for another lap? Is this lap going to be quicker, or are they going to lose out on all that time? As Bumcrack's gone around again, and I think Speedy is the first of the stoppers, which that gap to Jeesh down to just 3.8. Jeesh, he's shown it time and time again this season. He is very quick in these wet weather conditions. So let's just see how quickly he closes that gap. It's back out to 4 seconds, so Jeesh taking a second or two to acclimatise to these wet conditions, this slippery track surface. As there's yellow flags.
Whoa.
That's Bumcrack's gone. Bumcrack's struggling too much in these wet conditions. No, it's way too wet. They're all sliding. They're all gone, aquaplaning everywhere. As John off at Spoon Curve. Slappers, mate, can't get it turned in. And down to 4th position. This is a disaster for these guys. Bumcrack as well. They can't get it turned straight. But John still holding the lead, but not for long. As this is Slappers. coming around the corner with Jeesh right behind him. Under a second the gap. They barrel down towards 130R. We see John struggling for grip as the two leaders pass him by as John's gone. On the straight, aquaplaning, spin after spin, pirouetting like a Russian ballet dancer. As Jeesh has brought that gap down to under a second to Speedy Snoopy. 5 minutes remaining in this race. We could be witnessing a last to first for Jeesh. Sliding that respawn Genesis everywhere. As they barrel down towards the first turn. As Vance is in. I think he's snapping at the inters once again. I think he might have put the wrong tyre on. It's just too slow for him. He's going to have to put those inters on. As he pulls into the pit box now. Slapper's mate comes into the pits. John's gone around again. I don't think John has wet tyres.
Oh no.
I think John has forgot to buy wet tyres. So he's sticking it out on the slicks. Either that, or he sees something.
Whoa!
Oh, what's happened, Carbon Boy?
Thank goodness for ghosting, because there was what looked like a CP car doing 360s down the main straight.
Yes, Vance has, I think he put on the inters and there's still not enough grip, or has he put on the softs? I'm not too sure. This, I have no idea. Actually, we can just have a quick look. Let's just have a quick, let's have a quick look. He's put on the softs again. Maybe he doesn't have inters. I mean, look at that water meter. It is getting close to soft territory again. So, but here's an interesting little tidbit for you. Jeesh is not catching Speedy Snoopy. In fact, Speedy is actually going quicker than Jeesh. He's out of that gap to about 1.5 seconds. So the Division 1 Championship leader, big overcorrection there for Jeesh. He almost ended up in that gravel trap on the exit of the Spoon Curve. So barrel down to 130R. And that track is drying up once again. Are they going to stick it on the inters, or are they going to switch back to the soft tyres? That's the big question. As this race...
3.5 minutes to go. I'm just going to run these inters until they die.
So that's Carbon Boy's decision, as he is up into P6 as well. So how has that happened, Carbon?
Other people not having wet weather tyres would be my guess.
Yeah. As you look at those cars, and there's no spray coming from the rear of them at all. They're just... It's dry out there. It's bone dry.
Oh, I'll tell you what, 130R on inters is...
Oh, jeez! Oh, dear! He's run wide at the first turn. A rare mistake from the Division 1 champion. As we have a look on the Next Level Racing action replay at that one. As, geesh, oh dear, that might be his race hopes gone. But, oh dear, he's just run very wide on the first turn, hit that AstroTurf, and in the wet, it's very, very wet. Very, very slippery. Is Geesh struggling for grip? Oh my goodness. He is having a hard time trying to catch back up to Speedy Snoopy, and he could even be in trouble from behind. Oh, it's gone off. He is going to be in trouble from behind. As we see J-Lat just 1 second behind now. Geesh not having a fun time at all on those intermediate tyres. We have a look on the Next Level Racing action replay. What happened is he came to the first Degner as he just miscalculated the entrance to the corner and completely ran wide off into the gravel trap. The respawn car taking an off-roading adventure. But that gap to J-Lat back to just 1 second now. So Geesh is in trouble if he can't get a hold of his car anytime soon. But I think Speedy Snoopy, he might have enough of a lead to hold off for race 1. He might be able to just get away from Geesh enough as to hold on to this race. 1 lap remaining in this one for these guys. So let's just see how it plays out. Looking further back as well, we see Woody up into P4 as he runs wide at 130R. Very wet out there still. You can see the tyre spray coming up off the back of that car. We see Kira on the loose in a heated battle with Carbon Boy. This has been raging on all race long. As
It's been good fun.
yeah, interesting to see who can get the better of the other one here. I'm sure the crowd's rooting for you and your orange wheels there, Carbon Boy.
Highly unlikely given my experiences with the crowd in the past.
As we have a look further back as well, Bumcrack in the Kraken Esports DJR Genesis. He's held on to 7th position. He's managed to get the better of John, which I think John, holding out on those soft tyres, now the tyres have come in for him. He's in that position where it might be a little bit too late now though. 20 seconds remaining in the session, so the final lap for everybody here. I think John might just be the quickest man on track at the moment, which means that that's bad news for Bumcrack, who only has a 2.5 second lead over John in the Box of Beauty Genesis. As that is official, the race has ticked over, and it is the final lap for these guys. Speedy Snoopy. Geesh has started to get a wriggle on here. He's closed down that gap to just 4 seconds and opened it up behind to 3. So he started to find his rhythm in these greasy conditions, but it's all little too late as Speedy Snoopy is going to go on to win this one. 4-second gap to Geesh, unless he has a massive moment coming through 130R. It's good as gone, I reckon. Speedy. Brilliant drive. He stayed out front, made the move early on J-Lap when he needed to, and he's driven to the conditions perfectly. Put on the tyres when he needed to. The final braking zone up into the Casio triangle. Gets it turned in. And what a drive in race number 1 for Speedy Snoopy. He's going to take the race win in spectacular fashion. Hooncorp take race number 1 in the Community Series. Geesh takes P2 for the sister team. Jay Schlatt in the red mist car in 3rd position. Completes the podium. Woody will somehow come home in P4, sliding across the line, having a bit of fun with it. And we look back up to Carbon Boy, who's managed to get the better of Killer on the loose here into the Casio triangle. He's gonna hold on, barely. Killer showing the nose on Carbon Boy, unable to get that move done, and it's going to be Carbon Boy. No, he hands it back to Killer on the loose. As
whether he wants it or not.
Sean takes 8th. Slapper's mate will take P9. And Vance in the CP colours will come home in the last position here in race number 1. Wowee, what a race. So much chaos. That rain threw a spanner in the works. That, yeah, I mean, that's only one race. We've still got another one to go, another 20 minutes.
That was good fun.
It looked it.
I was actually genuinely happy when the rain decided to come along, because during our practice sessions we did have a bit of a rain scare, but the blue cloud approached us on the radar, but due to the wind direction, just went around us. So it was nice to see that with the change of wind direction in the race, yeah, we did cop the rain.
Yeah, absolutely. As we have a look at the results of race number 1. Now, keep in mind that race number 2 is reverse grid, so these guys will be lining up in the opposite way that you see on your screen at the moment. Speedy Snoopy takes P1 and the Gokanga fastest lap, with a 158.849. Geesh takes P2. Last to second isn't that bad in the grand scheme of things. Brilliant drive from Geesh, as we have all come to expect. Jay Schlatt completes the podium places. Woody in P4 somehow. I don't know how Woody's got there, but he has got there. Killer on the loose in P5. Carbon Boy in P6. Bumcrack 7th. John 27 TCT in P8. Slapper's mate P9, and Vance completes the top 10, or the only 10, I should say. Yes, they'll line up the opposite ways. So race number 2 will be like this. Vance in 1st, Slapper's mate 2nd, John 3rd, Bumcrack 4th, Carbon Boy 5th, Killer 6th, Woody 7th, J-Lat 8th, Geesh 9th, and Speedy Snoopy will be starting last for race number 2, courtesy of the reverse grid. So, very interesting race, that one. I mean, wow, it has to be said. Oh, I think Robert Rice in chat said it best. Carnage. There's no other way to put it. It was carnage. That's all there was to it. Absolute carnage from start to finish. Not too many incidents that I saw. It seemed very, very clean from these guys, so that's really nice to see in the community series. We like to see when these guys manage to keep stuff clean and calm. But also at the same time, that carnage thrown in with the rain coming with about 10 minutes left, it really threw a spanner in the works for a lot of these guys, and they were able to adapt or not, as we saw in the case of those unlucky ones who tried to stick it out on the soft tyre, but it came back to haunt them, as the guys who jumped onto the inters took the inters when the rain came. It really played out for them, and yeah, Slappers Mate taking race number 1. So, we ready to go, Carbon Boy, or do we need a bit more time? I'm going to take that as a Carbon Boy is AFK.
Sorry, I had accidentally hit the mute button on my microphone. I am just trying to get the grid set now that everybody has ticked in. So if you can just buy me that little bit more time, that would be much appreciated.
No worries. So, if you guys haven't already, make sure to like the video. It just gives us a bit more leverage when it comes to the YouTube algorithm, which we like to see. Thank you to everybody for rocking up tonight as well. No inters, and I spun into the pits and thought, what the hell, let's try softs. Is Greeny, is that Vance? Or who is Greeny? Please enlighten us.
I'm not sure.
Greeny.
But let's hit that button and let's get going for round 2.
That sounds like an awesome idea, Carbon Boy. As a race number 2 coming right up here on Sector 1 channel.
All right, starting mid-pack this time. It should be quite interesting.
Absolutely. And these reverse grids, they always throw up a nice spectacle. We see the front of the pack falling back and the back of the pack pushing forward, so everyone gets squished, and it's nice to see. Gives us lots of good racing as they're lined up and ready to go. 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, 5 lights.
They
are out and racing. What's happened, Carbon Boy? Oh
wrong
dear.
button. That is not the handbrake.
As Carbon Boy has a mare of a start, drops to the back of the pack, but Vance manages to hold the lead into the first turn. We see John manages to take P2 from Slappers Mate there, as everybody seems to have got through the first turn relatively clean. Cheesh up into P8 as we see it, as they round the S's for the first time. 2x2, oh, killer on the loose. Touching wheels with Woody there, as Geesh tries around the outside of Speedy Snoopy, but can't quite get it done. He does get it done, though, on the inside at Dunlop, but that inside is going to become the outside. Ooh, yeah, Geesh decided to concede that corner to Speedy Snoopy. Probably the best call there, to be honest.
I would definitely say so. Hello, have we lost a driver?
It appears so. Oh, he started
had the wet tyres on.
Oh
no.
dear. As Vance continues down towards Spoon Curve, holding the lead of the race over John at the moment. And I'll tell you what, the front 3, they're no slouches at the moment, and it's only lap 1. I think the rain and reverse grid, it's thrown up this carnage, so it's not really even a reverse grid. As the first race's results were a little bit skewed, but that being said, we've still got Speedy Snoopy and Geesh at the back of the pack, currently fighting for P7 and P8 as they approach 130R. Geesh cutting the curb just a tiny little bit, but he loses out to Speedy Snoopy. These guys having an absolute clanger of a battle. Jeesh able to outbrake Speedy Snoopy, looking for the switchback, but unfortunately Jeesh parking it on the curb on the apex. Has a little bit of a wiggle as he gets down the inside of Killer on the loose as well, as Killer might even lose that position to Speedy Snoopy. Jeesh up in a P6, hunting down Woody as it stands, as Slappers mate. Oh no, that's Speedy Snoopy looking for the move on Killer. He dives down the inside when the door opens up. Nice move from Speedy Snoopy. So we'll have a look on the Next Level Racing action replay at that move. Very, very tidy move from Speedy Snoopy. Showed the nose to Killer. Killer clipped the first apex, sent it wide to get that turn in, and as soon as he sent it, he went wide. That door opened up, and Speedy Snoopy was able to chuck it down the inside. As we have a look back up front, John has taken the lead over V-Ray Vance, as Bumcrack looking to get past Vance as well in the CP colours. But yeah, Vance, he seems to be blocking up quite a lot of traffic behind him, sort of making a somewhat slipstream DRS train. Oh, as we see Woody down the inside of Bumcrack. No, it's of Slappers, mate, as they go side by side. But I think Slappers is going to have the slipstream from Bumcrack. Woody's going to have to settle behind, potentially making a move into Spoon Curve now. Has to hold off for now. Looking to get a mega exit here, Woody. He might be able to make the move on Slappers down in towards 130R, but with that slipstream from Bumcrack, it's going to be a tough ask. Looks like Slappers mate's got a good exit, a decent enough exit to hold off from Woody for now. Even looking to go for a move on Bumcrack. He gets down the inside into 130R. What happens? No, he has to back out. Very, very wise at that corner. Too wide, but that leaves him vulnerable from Woody, who chucks it down the inside of the Deeds car. And he gets it pulled up on the Black Rose car and down the inside. Woody up into P4. Jeesh, using that loss in momentum that Woody took from Slappers to potentially make it 2 for 2 on positions lost for Slappers. As he shows the nose, he has pulled slightly alongside. That entitles him to room. As Slappers runs wide, manages to keep it on track, gives Jeesh well and truly enough room on the apex, and Jeesh will slide on through to P5. Slappers dropping to P6. As we look back up front, John has made a bit of a gap for himself. 1.6 seconds it currently sits at. Vance has also legged a bit of a gap as well. 1 second over Bumcrack, who is trying to keep behind the Deeds car of Woody, as Woody and Bumcrack approach the Degners. Jeesh hunting down the Golden Deeds car at the moment as well. I expect a move anytime soon from Jeesh. It looks like he's got the run out of the second Degner. Under the bridge towards the hairpin. Chucks it down the inside. No, he does not. Holds off for now. He must know a better place for a move on Woody, as these guys barrel down through 200R, down towards the Spoon Curve. Just lifting off a little bit there, Jeesh. Looking to try and get the move to open up at Spoon. Doesn't quite happen for him. But with this slipstream, he might be able to get the run down the hill towards 130R. He does get the run, and he's right up under that rear wing of Woody. Will the move come? Will we see the move? Potentially. He pulls out, shows the nose, has to stick in behind. Woody holds his position for now, but Jeesh loves this move at the Casio triangle, looks to the outside, doesn't quite open up for him. As we see in the background there, Speedy Snoopy running wide at 130R. But Jeesh gonna have to settle for P5 as Bumcrack runs wide, loses the position to the two faster cars there. And Woody up into the podium places. Very, very defensive from Jeesh, not wanting to let that gap open up. But Jeesh says, thank you very much, Woody. I'll take the outside line. Sweeps it around the outside. Runs out of room onto the AstroTurf. Still holding it around the outside. Is he able to get this done? Yes, he is. Oh my goodness, what a move from Jeesh. That is our greatest move that we have seen in a while. Let's have a look at that one on the Next Level Racing action replay. Woody showed him the outside, said you can have the outside, and Jeesh says I will take the outside, and holds it around the outside, sweeps past Woody like he wasn't even there, makes it look easy. Worldy move from Jeesh to get himself up into the podium position as he heads down towards the second Degner now. Vance in his way. 4 seconds to the lead as well. Can't fight too much with the CP car if he still has his ambitions for the lead of the race. But we'll see how this works out for him. As we look a little further back down the pack, we see Bumcrack struggling for traction on the exit of the hairpin. Under a lot of pressure from Slappers now. Slappers looking around the outside into Spoon. Doesn't quite happen. That outside line through 200R. It doesn't quite give you enough momentum to get yourself alongside for the inside of the corner at Spoon. But Bumcrack gets a good exit down the hill. Slappers left a little bit vulnerable over Speedy Snoopy. Whoops, I apologize. I have clicked a button on my keyboard. Terribly sorry for that, everybody. As we see Slappers pushed wide a little bit by Speedy Snoopy, who had the apex of 130R. 2 into 1 doesn't quite work through there, but these guys managed to sort itself out. Speedy up into P6. As we have a look back up front, as we see Jeesh, who has set the fastest lap of the race at the moment of a 58.4? Jeesh! Oh my goodness. That's 4/10 quicker than we've seen ever around here. Okay, as these guys continue on. So how's things going for you back there, Carbon Boy?
Yeah, killing. A great old time back here at the back of the grid. We had a bit of a moment at the Dengers, and we just parked on the side of the track and had a bit of a chat. You know, sneaked a couple of sips from the hip flasks inside the car and talked about the weather, you know, that kind of thing. And we're back at it now.
And now you guys are 30 seconds behind, but having a
That's
nice
fine.
little private battle, reserving your own corners on the track aside from everybody else.
Let's be real, we weren't exactly going to be catching the front runners.
Yeah. As John, Jeesh has made his way past Vance now, and the afterburners are off, and he's chasing down John. But as it stands, John is lapping 2/10 slower than Jeesh. So it's going to be a tight one to see who takes this one, but Jeesh finally has some open road ahead of him. He's going to be able to unleash the afterburners, and we'll see how this battle evolves for the lead of the races. Jeesh is 2.5 tenths quicker. Oh my goodness. Absolutely flying as he comes into the Casio triangle.
So far, Jeesh has gone from last to second, and second last to possibly first. Has not quite completed the last to first challenge.
Oh my goodness. 58.1 for Jeesh. What a lap time. As that gap to John, which John on the last lap set a 59.2, so he's had a bit of a mare on the last lap. So Jeesh really putting his foot down now. He wants this first position. He isn't quite able to take the 2P1s that we're quite accustomed to seeing him do in these Community Series races. However, he's going to have to settle for just a single race win if he gets there in time, barring no mistake as well. Goes purple. Oh my god. Jeesh. We're going to have to
57.
we're going to have to call the police. Somebody's got to get 000 on the phone, because what Jeesh is doing is just illegal. He's not allowed to be this fast.
I just did a 2-minute flat and was fairly happy with myself.
As we have a look back to the privately booked and catered for race that's happening down here for P8 and P9 between Carbon Boy and Killer on the Loose. And yeah, you're going blue, Carbon Boy. That's some good news.
I wouldn't mind a sub 2-minute time, to be honest. That would be nice.
Well, you've only got 300s to save.
It would have been nice to have done that in qualifying, but, you know, that's me in qualifying. That's how we roll.
Yeah. As we have a look back up front, that gap between Jeesh and John down to 1.6. So I think the striking range is probably in the next 2 laps, which by that point, there'll be about 5 minutes left in this race, 4 minutes left. So, I mean, that's cutting it a bit fine for Jeesh. 4 laps should be left as he crosses the line. 58.2. This is consistent running from Jeesh as well. Let me read out the lap times for you all. 58.4, 58.1, 58.2. Jeesh is absolutely flying, and consistently as well. We have a look up to John, and he's also running consistently, but those consistent lap times are running about a second slower than those of Jeesh. 58.8, 58.2, 58.6, 58.8, 58.2. Oh, no, 59.2, 59.2, yeah. So he's not running the quickest, but if he's able to just keep plugging along, he might have half a fighting chance against Jeesh. He just has to try and hold out. And if it plays into John's strategy at all, he could even potentially try and back up Jeesh into Vance, who is in turn under a lot of pressure from Woody here. These two behind, they'll happily take an extra position and get involved in this battle for the lead. But as it currently stands, they're sitting 5 seconds away. So it's a lot of backing up for John and battling with Jeesh. If he has any hope of these two behind to pose any threat to Jeesh's winning ambitions. So they barrel down through 200R into Spoon Curve now as well. That gap under a second for the first time all race. Jeesh getting into the slipstream toe of John. Doesn't quite get the exit that he wanted there, but he is still closing up marginally. He's 100th down on his time. Or at 10th, I should say. 900ths down on his time. Into the braking zone now. Let's see what Jeesh can do. Let's see if it's going to be another consistent lap. Under a second now between these two. Barreling down towards the finish line. And he will set a 58.3. So adding to his further consistency here, Jeesh is absolutely flying. 7.5 tenths the gap currently between these two. So we have a look back. Woody has managed to find his way past Vance as well, and is also in pursuit of John. 5.5 minutes remaining in this race. It might be a bit of a tough ask for Woody to get himself back into this one, but there's no telling how much John and Jeesh are going to be fighting at the tail end of this race. As the gap currently stands, 5 tenths. Jeesh is well and truly within striking distance of the Boxer Beauty Genesis. As they come through Dunlop down towards the Degners. That gap down to 4 tenths. Jeesh runs a little bit wide onto the AstroTurf. Gets it turned in for Degner 2 on the power. Under the Bridgestone Bridge. Cross to the hairpin. Late braking for Jeesh. Trail braking all the way to the apex and on the power. So smooth. A little bit of a wiggle. Manages to be on that limiter grip and gets the exit with the slipstream. Shows the nose to the outside of the track through 200R. Looking for the move. Gap hoping to open up for Jeesh, but John isn't going to let him through without a bit of a fight. As it currently stands, 3 tenths. This is the closest Jeesh has been all race. This is opportunity from now on. Down towards 130R. Jeesh looking for the move. Hoping that it opens up. Shows the nose once, shows it twice. Has to stick behind for 130R. And he'll look for this move into the Casio triangle that he's been going for all race. Has to sit behind for now. John covers it off well. Out of the exit and down towards the start-finish line. This is as close as he's been towards turn 1 now. John covering it off, hoping to go defensive. Looks like Jeesh isn't going to have enough legs to get him on this occasion into the first turn. John gets it. Oh, Jeesh is gone! He's pushed too hard! He's run wide at the first turn. Oh, dear. As that gap opens up to 1.6 seconds. It's not over yet, though, as Jeesh can still close that gap up. As we have a look on the Next Level Racing action replay. As what happened here for Jeesh? Just a massive miscalculation. Understeer wide onto the AstroTurf. No grip out there on the runoff. And he has to settle for second position for now, but immediately back into the chase. 1.4 seconds as it stands. He's struggling for grip so much. Loses 3 or 4 tenths there through the first Degner, taking way too much curb. He's 2 seconds down on his time by the second sector split. John might have just been given a life rope here. As we have a look as well, Speedy Snoopy back up into P5. He's managed to find his way past Slapper's mate and looking for this battle pack ahead of Vance and Diswood. But as it stands, Jeesh 1.3 seconds behind John. They're going to get another 2 laps at it by the looks of things. It's going to be tight for that second lap, that 11th lap. I think they're both going to get there, but everybody else is not. So you might have an exclusive last lap battle. But John's made a mistake. Jeesh is back into the swing of things. 3 tenths the gap once again. 1 lap ago, this is the exact situation that we were looking at before. Jeesh, he's closer than ever. Shows the nose into the Casio triangle. Has to settle behind once again. John giving Jeesh enough room to try the move, but not enough to complete the move. So he just has to settle behind. Jeesh meticulously picking the perfect corner to place his car into the lead of the race. As that gap at 2 tenths, John plants his car on the right side, left side of the circuit, gives him room, runs wide, similar to how Jeesh did, and Jeesh goes through into the lead of the race. The Respawn Esports Genesis claims P1 with 1:30 left on the clock. This should be the last lap of the race, or maybe not. It's going to be tight. I don't know, these guys might get that 11th lap. We'll just have to wait and see. As John hasn't given up yet, he's got this slipstream on Jeesh, and these guys don't know it. It might not be the last lap, so John is going to throw the kitchen sink at Jeesh here to try and regain this P1 position. We'll have a look back at Speedy Snoopy, Vance, and Woody, as it currently stands between these three, 1.3 seconds between all of them. As Woody trying to hold on to this podium place. Vance, the first of the community members, holding on in the CP colours, hoping that a gap opens up on Woody, which Woody made that move quite early on and is holding out over the CP car. As we have a look back down as well, looks like you found yourself a bit of no man's land here, Carbon Boy.
Yeah, look, it's fairly quiet back here. I've got 26 seconds to bum crack in front of me and 30 odd seconds, and I should really pay attention to the track, shouldn't I? And, well, near enough to 30 seconds to either way, front and rear to another driver, so
Yeah.
got all the space in the world, really.
As I think Jeesh and John are going to get another lap. Looking at that bottom left corner, 10 seconds left, they are going to get another lap for sure, but I think Jeesh has run off with this one. Is Woody going to get another lap? No, I think he's going to be the first of the finishers. As Woody will take P3. Yes, he is. Maybe. No, he goes around again, apparently, because... No, he's finished. Okay, and Vance P4, Speedy P5, Slappers P6. It will be Bumcrack in P7 here. As he crosses the line in the DJR Kraken Esports Genesis. We have a look back up front to Jeesh and John. It currently sits at 1.4 seconds. Jeesh should take P1 here, barring any mistakes. I think John's tyres are a little bit cooked, just like him, but they barrel down towards the hairpin for the final time. As we'll have a look at Carbon Boy as... Oh, yeah, I kind of forgot that you were at the start-finish line, Carbon Boy, but you can cross now, you're on TV.
How's that for a stop?
I just looking across and you just stopped at the finish line. As
That
Jeesh
was precision
almost runs
braking.
wide. Yeah. I was like, oh, Carbon Boy's getting pretty close to start-finish line. I'll just have a look, and you stopped on the line.
Yeah, got to get a little bit of TV time. It was fairly lonely at the back of the field there.
As Jeesh comes through 130R for the final time. He's taken the Div 1 Championship But this is the real reason he races in Sector 1. He's here for the Community Series, and the Community Series he has won. There's yellow flags somewhere for whatever reason. I'm not too sure why, but he'll take P1. John will take P2, and it will be Killer on the Loose in the pit lane. Mechanical retirement, I believe, but that is all that she wrote in tonight's events. Oh, wow. Very,
good fun.
Very dramatic.
Well done to all drivers. I think they put on a pretty good show.
Yeah, I reckon so.
At least the ones sort of further up the field. People like myself, just making up the numbers tonight, I think.
As we have a look at the race results for race number 2. Jeesh takes P1 and the Gokanga fastest lap. 158.1. I'm going to say that again. 158.1. Absolutely.
I'm disappointed he didn't get
flying.
into the 57s, just quietly.
I think Jeesh is a little bit disappointed at that as well, Carbon Boy. And John...
We'll probably find him out here doing laps a bit later on tonight, just trying to get that elusive 57.
As John, the only other driver to make that elusive 11th lap. 1.3 seconds off Jeesh there. With his best lap 5/10 slower, actually. So Woody takes the podium place in P3. Vance in P4. Speedy Snoopy takes P5 after his P1 in the first race. Slapper's Mate in P6. Bumcrack takes 7th. Carbon Boy 8th. And the final 2 is Killer on the Loose and J-Lat, who J-Lat retired on lap 1 due to the Red Mist guys doing what Red Mist do best and put wet tyres on the car on a dry track. I don't know whether that's maybe whose fault is that? Would that be the pit crews, or has J-Lat potentially?
I'm going to put it down to a miscommunication between the driver and the race engineer and the pit crew. There's a bit of Chinese whispers going on down there, I think.
Yeah, that sounds like the that might be the right call. Maybe he said, it might get a little bit wet later on, and then the engineer goes, it's going to be wet. It's going to be wet later on. It's going to be wet. Oh, wet tyres, and then they've been put on the car, and he's unfortunately had to retire quite early on in that race due to that unfortunate mistake. Would have been good to see him in that field, but yeah, no go for J-Lat in race number 2, unfortunately.
Bit of a shame, but that's all right. Hopefully he comes on back in 2 weeks' time for the final round of the Community Series this season.
Yeah, absolutely. But it needs to be said, thanks for joining us, everybody. All 20 of you that tuned in tonight. I mean, 20 at the same time. 75, it says technically. So thank you to everybody who tuned in to say hi, have a little hello, and a little bit of a chat. Oh, we see a couple of other people in here as well. Yeah, it's thank you for coming for that, Greenie. It is Vance. Izuzu Brian's in the chat, Prua's in the chat, Jeesh is in the chat, Bumcrack's in the chat. Hello everybody, thanks for joining us here tonight. And thanks for everybody who's liked the video and subscribed to the channel. If you haven't already, join the Discord. That's how you get involved in these fun races like this, in the Community Series, where you can get in on all the action, have a bit of fun. So, yeah, that's everything I've got to spew about. What about you, Carbon Boy?
As per usual, thank you to all the drivers that came along tonight, and of course to all the viewers who tuned in at some point and have probably tuned out at this point, let's be honest. So yeah, if you're still listening, don't forget to tune in Sunday night, where we will be running the Division 4 and then the Division 2 guys here at Suzuka for their chance at round 11.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's quite a spicy one because that's where the drop rounds take place. And once the drop rounds take effect, it means that we can have an even playing field. and we can figure stuff out for the final race in Monza in a
And
week
it's
and a half's time.
also a certain somebody in this comms box turned a race this week. How are you feeling about that?
I like Suzuka.
Very diplomatic response there.
It's a fun track. A little bit sad there's no wet weather. But, you know, I think I just got to turn a result, and I should be looking pretty good in the championship standings. So we'll just have to wait and see how things go on Sunday. But, yeah, thanks for joining us, guys. If you haven't, or if you're joining us here tonight, I'm assuming you should be joining us here on Sunday, because that's where the main game's at. That's where all the fun stuff happens. All the big bangs, carnage, and, yeah, all the fun stuff.
All right, Ladosis, I think we better get out of here. I can see the grounds crew starting to sweep up and switch all the lights off, so I've got to bail before I have to get out of here in complete
Yeah,
darkness.
I hope they don't lock us in the comms box. That happened last week.
That's all right. We've got beer. It's fine.
Yeah, we waffled on for a bit too long last Sunday, and they locked us in here, so yeah.
Anyway, I'm out. Thank you very much, ladies and gents. We'll see you on Sunday.
See you guys. Catches. Wait, which button?
That